Welcome back to another episode of Educational Kitchen with Gabe Opiana. So for today's episode, we will be making baked Zitti. Now, let's get on with cooking. Hold on! Before we start cooking, let's not forget to wash our hands and to wear our aprons. Always remember that cleanliness is next to godliness. First, we need Zitti or penne pasta, any tomato or marinara sauce, mozzarella cheese, extra virgin olive oil, minced onion and garlic, some fresh basil, ground beef, and of course, some salt and pepper. The first step is to open your stove and then put water inside a pot. That's where you're going to boil the pasta later on. We're going to add salt in the water so that it wouldn't taste bland when the pasta will be there. Now we're just going to let this sit and wait for it to boil. If you can't find Zitti pasta, you can substitute it with penne pasta or any tube pasta. So now that our salt water is boiling, we can now add our penne pasta into the water. While the pasta is being boiled, we shall move on to cutting our fresh basils into small pieces. Now this wouldn't be Educational Kitchen if I didn't tell you anything educational. So, a hack that I can share to you guys is that you stack all your basils, roll them, and once you do that, you can chop it off more cleanly and less decaying to the basils. You have to remember when you're cutting your basils to not forget to check your pasta. Stir it from time to time to make sure it's not sticking together. If you didn't know, basil is actually an excellent source of vitamin K, manganese, iron, vitamin A, and vitamin C. Now you're just going to stir your pasta for a bit and drain it in a colander. So now we put aside our pasta and we start putting olive oil to our pan. And then next, we add our onions and garlic into the pan with the oil. Now we're just going to keep on sauteing. Now we're going to add our ground beef in with the minced garlic and onions and cook it. Now we shall add our tomato sauce into the meat and mix it all together. So now, let me give you a little backstory of what baked Zitti really is. So, baked Zitti was usually served to nobles at ceremonies and celebrations and was used during wedding receptions because, did you know that it came from the word Zitti meaning fiancé? It is actually an Italian-American dish, and it was passed on to the Americans. So now we're going to add your basils into the red sauce. At this point, you can lower the settings of your stove. We're just going to keep on mixing until they're all together. So now we're just going to put some red sauce on the pan, and we're doing this so that when we are baking the pasta, it does not stick to the pan. Make sure that you're coating the whole bottom layer, just like lasagna. Now, moving on, you're going to add your pasta into the sauce and just mix it all together again. Hold on, don't use all of your red sauce as we're still going to put some red sauce on top of the pasta. Yes, I know there are a lot of steps, but we are almost to the end. Put your pasta into the pan with the red sauce layer. We're almost there. Now you're just going to add your remaining sauce to the pasta. Now, this is my personal favorite part. You can add how much cheese you want and how much cheese you'd like. You decide how much cheese you're going to put in your pasta. So now we're just going to preheat your oven before putting your pan inside. My settings was on max, but it depends on what kind of oven you have. Now when you're done preheating, you could just add your pasta inside and wait for it to bake. And what I mean by baking here is when your cheese on top has a little bit of brownings. We shouldn't bake it for a long time since the pasta might harden inside. Now my pasta has really good brownings, so I'm just going to take it out of the oven and let it cool for just a little bit. Your cheese should be able to look like this to know if it's done or not. And now we're done with our baked Zitti! Yay! So as much as many steps there were, this is actually a really easy dish that anyone can try at home. I hope you guys enjoyed! Bon appetit! I hope you guys enjoyed another episode of Educational Kitchen with Gabe Opiana, and I hope that you learned something today. Bye!